Hi, in this video we're going to look at the first of the tactical level data collection tabs, these blue ones over here. And the first one of those is the untargeted promotional budget. So let me click on that. Here we are, and here we have a grid to fill in. But before we start talking about this, I want to go back a little bit so that we can explain exactly what's happening here. Now, you'll remember all the way back here we filled out these grey tabs, and the grey tabs collect the strategic level data that we need, and that is mostly your financial information, your forecasts and your costs, and a little bit about your current FTE or Salesforce deployment plan. That's what we have there, and from that we're going to produce a high level strategic plan for you. But then we went on and we filled in the yellow tabs. Here they are, there's one over there and the remaining ones are over here, and those yellow tabs collect the information that we require for all of your customers and for your teams and your team activity, and that allows us to produce an operational level plan, a reach and frequency level plan if you like. But both of those approaches, strategic and operational, concentrate primarily on your Salesforce and planning your Salesforce deployment. But that's not all of our promotional investment. We also spend money, invest money if you like, in all kinds of other promotional channels. And way back in the strategic level tabs, we collected that information at very high level. Here it is. This is the sum of all the money that you intend to invest in all the promotional channels that are not Salesforce related. So what happens with these new tactical level? Well, in the tactical level, this is what we want to do. We want to explore now all those non-Salesforce promotional channels, and to do that we need more information than we get just here. So that is precisely why we have these blue tabs representing the tactical level, and their purpose is to collect all the detail behind the high level other promotional expenditure data that you've already provided. So let's move back to the first of these blue tactical level tabs, the Untargeted Promotional Budget tab. Here we are, and talk about this in a little bit more detail. Well, within the Promo Planner, when we are talking about non-Salesforce investment channels, we like to split the promotional channels into two groups, into those that are untargeted and those that are targeted. And this tab here is collecting the information just for those untargeted promotional budgets. So what are untargeted promotional channels? Well, things like websites, journal advertising, TV or radio advertising, all those kinds of things. They're all examples of untargeted promotional channels. They're promotional channels when we are not inviting the customer essentially by name. We're just providing the promotional investment, and whoever it is that sees it, sees it. We don't really have any control over whether a high value customer sees it or a low value customer sees it. So the first thing we need to do here is type in those promotional channels, untargeted promotional channels, that are relevant to us. So for me, they are going to be website. We provide a website for potential customers to view our products, so I'm going to type that in there. We do some journal advertising, probably in some very medical publications. There we go, journal advertising goes in there. And let's do some media advertising. Let's do some TV advertising. Now obviously that's not allowed for prescription medicines in many markets. In some markets it is, but for most it's not. But we're going to include them here, if I can get right back to the top. There we are. So there I have it. Websites, journal advertising and TV advertising. So what do we need to do next? Well, very simply what we need to do next is put in our annual 12-month budget for these three channels, where it applies to the products that we use with those channels. So for Paynex, well, I have a budget of 4,771 GB pounds. For journal advertising, it's a little bit more, it's 7,156, and for TV advertising, well, that's quite expensive, so it's quite a bit more than that. It's almost 128, well, 120,000. Okay, so that's the kind of thing that I might put in. Now, not all products may be advertised with all these promotional channels, but you'll just fill in the numbers where they are relevant to you. Now, as you'll be used to by now, I have a little spreadsheet here with all my numbers on it. Here we go. So if I do a quick cut and paste, there we go for my untargeted numbers, which have all been worked out. Copy them there and paste them here using my values only as per usual. There I have all my untargeted promotional budgets entered. Now you'll see this grey column here. What's happening is that we're summing up all of these promotional channels into the total expenditure, and you'll see one of them has gone red. Why is that red? Let's just check any others. Oh look, yep, they're all sort of grey, they all look fine, but this one is red. Why is it red? Well, what is happening is the Promo Planner is checking these numbers here against what we have entered way back here in our other promotional expenditures. So let's look at this more carefully. It's anti-factum, so there it is, anti-factum. I'm going to look into other promotional expenditures and look at anti-factum and say, so my current budgets are actually 0 here, and that's because we're not going to be launching until then. So I need to correct this in some way. I either need to put a number in here that is close to the number that we just saw in the other tab, or I need to review whether I should be spending these monies on promoting anti-factum in the current year. Okay, so that is what this is doing. This is making that check for you and making sure that you are not over or under investing too much. In fact, it doesn't check exactly, it checks that you're within sort of 5-10% or so. And if you're within a regional margin, then that will be absolutely fine. So that's it. There we have it. We're using this tab, the Untargeted Promotional Budget tab, to collect both the kind of untargeted channels that you are currently using and also the budget as it applies to each of your products. And that budget is an annual budget, and it is the budget that you have in place for the first year to optimize that we set up all the way back here in the project setup tab, which in our case is 2019. So that's it. That's the Untargeted Promotional Budget tab.